what parents can do, know the signs of insufficient sleep in your children. Provide a sleep-friendly home environment. And maybe that means taking the cell phone away at 10 o'clock at night, so it's not buzzing with text messages all night long. Establishing limits on things like after-school activities and jobs to allow kids enough time to get sleep. Being a good role model, just like everything else, kids are watching what we do as parents. Make sleep a priority in your family, a health priority. Think about drowsy driving. No Z's, no keys. That's one of the few things that we hold over our kids in terms of some measure of control of teenagers. And also think about limiting caffeine use. So there are important principles of healthy sleep, which I think we need to start teaching kids about, probably in kindergarten, that needs to be part of our general health education. So, for example, practices which promote sleep regulation, which reinforce circadian rhythms and the sleep drive. So having a consistent sleep and wake schedule that is not more than an hour different from weekdays to weekends. Having a regular schedule of activities during the day also helps to synchronize your normal circadian rhythms with the environment. Avoiding bright light in the bedroom at bedtime, but increasing light exposure in the morning, which helps suppress your melatonin and makes it easier to wake up. And I get a lot of questions about napping, and I think napping is not a bad thing and can be a helpful thing, but done under controlled conditions. So a nap can be helpful when it's not possible to get sufficient sleep at night, but it's really a temporary fix. So the late afternoon, when we have that circadian trough between 3 and 5, is a time when we're potentially able to fall asleep. So the timing of a nap is important. The other thing is the duration of the nap. Sort of this concept of a power nap actually has some validity in that a nap of 30 minutes or less, you're going to be less likely to go into deep sleep. And if you wake up, you're forcefully awakened during deep sleep, many of us would experience what's called sleep inertia, which is this sort of groggy, kind of confused, dazed, where am I feeling that can last for 5, 10, up to 20 minutes. So the real benefits of a nap is that short-term alertness is improved, but this is not a long-term substitute for getting enough sleep. So other healthy sleep practices are those which promote sleep conditioning. So having a regular and consistent bedtime routine. Don't expect to go from doing your homework at 100 miles an hour to turning off the light and falling immediately asleep. There needs to be a transition period there. Limiting activities which promote wakefulness in bed. You want to associate being in bed with being asleep. So not texting or doing homework, and by the same token, not sleeping in environments other than in the bed. Practices which reduce arousal and promote relaxation. Keeping electronics out of the bedroom altogether. Avoiding heavy meals or vigorous exercise too close to bedtime. Vigorous exercise, for example, raises your core body temperature and makes it more difficult to fall asleep. And also reducing cognitive and emotional stimuli before you try to get into bed and go to sleep. Preferably eliminating caffeine altogether in adolescents, but certainly after 6 p.m., and including activities in the bedtime routine that are for you relaxing and calming. And finally, practices which promote getting enough sleep and getting good quality sleep, which means setting a bedtime and wake time to allow yourself an adequate opportunity, a sleep window that lets you get the sleep you need. and having a sleep environment which is relatively on the cool side, low noise, etc.